Hey Sag, welcome to your March Spirit Message reading. Some ground rules out for any first timers here. So this is going to be a general reading for Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. Because these are general readings, my only ask of you is that you take these messages as they resonate. Do not try to force them. You know, if you have to fudge too many details or forgive too many things to make it fit your situation, that message just wasn't meant for you. With that being said, I do encourage you guys to watch the videos for all your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising. You know, if you're attached to your Venus sign, go for it. We do have a Mercury retrograde this month, so it may be worth watching your Mercury video as well. Just a heads up there. But there's really no right or wrong way to do this. So if you're pulled to watch a certain video, by all means, go for it. Your message may be lying in one of those, not necessarily your Sun video, because I'm assuming you're a Sag Sun. All right, with that out of the way, setup. So I have 3 oracle decks and 1 tarot deck here. We're going to pull 1 card from each of the oracles. It's going to give us a little peek to a certain facet of the month. Romance angels here to look at love and relationships. Keepers of the light to take a peek at our own spiritual growth this month. Good tarot to look at work and finances. And then we will clarify and get our main message from a tarot spread at the end. So with that said, I always like to start with love and romance, so that's what we're going to do. Here, let's move you guys up just a smidgens. Alright, Spirit, what is going on with our Sages concerning love and romance for the month of March? For all my returning Sages, welcome back. I hope you had an amazing February. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Liking this. Alright, you guys got express your love. I'm into it. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So, to me, this is just about, you know, you can be a little flirty, but I think this is really being open and honest about what you're feeling. And I think this card can encompass, you know, I don't want to say the good and the bad, but like the you know, the pluses and the minuses, so to speak. You know, this is for those of you who are in a relationship, this is you about, yes, expressing your joys, you know, what makes you happy about this person, being with this person, and also the things, hey, I wish we could do more of this, or I wish this would happen differently, you know. And then for my single Sages, you know, kind of the same thing. You know, if you are feeling a certain way, like, go ahead, be bold, be brave. Say something, act on it. Like, you don't need to be so coy this month, I think it's really what I want to get across to either situation. Just don't be coy. There's no need to hold back, because you are in a safe place to just express and be open with it and let it flow. Let it flow, Sag. All right, Spirit, who is here helping Sag as they continue to grow and evolve as a spiritual being in March? Oh, all right. So you guys got White Eagle, the ancestor spirit. I normally get a lot of family healing when I get this card. Scorpio also got this card as well. So there may be a Scorpio in your life, or I would say specifically in your family, that you may be working with. Not necessarily, they could just have Scorpio placements. I'm just saying that because they also got this card. But this card has a lot to do with like old family wounds, kind of breaking family patterns. So definitely I see some family healing going on. One thing I told the Scorpios, I don't feel it as much with you, but if you have a Scorpio in your family, it may be a thing. But I was telling the Scorpios that I definitely felt it was a female thing. It was like grandmother to mother, mother to daughter, daughter to child. You know, that it was kind of, that's where the pattern lay. So for some of you, that may be a thing as well. It may not. I'm just kind of adding it because that's what I shared with Scorpio. I'm not necessarily feeling as strongly in that aspect for you, but for some of you it might be. But the key here is definitely family. You may even be having dreams of family members. You may be getting some guided messages from family members you were very close to. There could even be support coming from, loved ones that have moved on. But all to really help this family healing to whatever that core wound is, there's going to be some resolution brought to it. Like I was saying earlier, there is a Mercury retrograde. Retrogrades are always a point of time for us to review and look over the past and see what we've learned and what we can do differently, moving forward. So it doesn't surprise me that we're getting some healing coming up. So this, again, is a moment to look at what's been done in the past. How can we do this differently in the future? All right? So definitely a thing to be aware of. I think the retrograde, I want to say it's on the 5th. It's very soon, if I remember correctly. So we're already kind of in shadow period already. So you may kind of be feeling some of that. All right, Spirit, what is going on with work and finances for our Sages? There's another high one also. Ooh, all right. So this is fun. So Messenger of Water. So the messengers in this deck are the knights or the princes. So this would be like the Prince of Cups in a traditional tarot deck. So in a work reading, this is almost kind of interesting because this is a very emotional card when you think about it. Like, it's traditional meeting. This could be like a suitor. This could be a new lover coming into your life. Some people also read this as an apology, some type of emotional, heartfelt, what to say, apology, kind of coming in. So in the workplace, I almost want to say emotions may be running a little higher than normal at work. Good and bad. I'm not saying everyone's moody or anything like that. But I feel like that may be a stronger motivator in the workplace right now. People may be kind of in their fields. That might be what's kind of getting them to work. So you as a Sag, and your natural trait being truth and openness and honesty, I think, you're going to be the one. Actually, that could be that could play it a couple ways. I was going to say something, and there could be an alternative to that. So what I was originally going to say, yes, you as a Sag who sees truth, you may be the objective lens, so to speak. But I think especially for the Messenger of Water coming up in your reading, because we're not necessarily talking about the other people, we're talking about you right now. So this kind of placement for you, I find kind of interesting. I think this is almost kind of like you kind of having to speak using your emotional quotient. I feel like you may have to be a little less objective than you would be normally. Because Sages normally are all about fairness and all about, this is wrong, this is right, this is good, this is bad. There's definitely a balance to be kept here, and a sense of fairness and justice with a Sag. I feel like with this Messenger of Water and this need for emotional communication, I think you may have to step out of that. You may have to step into some gray area. It may not be so black and white at work right now. I think almost with your place at work, like this may not even be with employees or coworkers. This may just be with you. Like, you may just be in gray area in the workplace. And emotionally, you're going to have to reconcile that. You may be feeling a certain way. Like, maybe you're feeling like really like, oh, I'm not about this. But you may have to reconcile that this month and find, I don't want to say an emotional balance because you're not out of balance, but it's almost like you have to reason with your own feelings, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of like your emotional self talking to your natural Sag nature. Be like, all right, let's talk about this. I know you're feeling XYZ, but, or whatever the conversation is. But I think there may be a moment where you kind of have to do some emotional processing and really speak honestly through your Sag lens to yourself about how you're feeling. Like, I do feel this is like a self-to-self conversation, for a lot of you. That is a real interesting energy. Even like looking at it, I have this like sense of, I don't want to say lost, like that's not the feeling, but it's almost like this sense of wandering. Because I think this conversation is almost like it's like a reconsideration or a reassessment. Oh, I just have the weirdest feeling right now. Like it's not bad, it's not good, it's heavy, but not, like, it's a really weird feeling. Like, I feel like you guys are it's like a big reassessment moment where you kind of have to sit and be honest and be like, all right, could I do this? Should I do this? Where am I going to go? Like, am I acting from the right place? Like, there's this real honest emotional conversation you're about to have with yourself. And I think once it's done, you like feel so much lighter. Like, I almost want to feel like if you feel any weight or pressure or anything like that now. And I think honestly this could be something that you're blaming someone else for. But I think after this conversation, I almost want to say that some of that weight you put there yourself. And I think this conversation helps you to kind of see that, acknowledge it, and then also how to resolve it, what can be done about it, how we can find a solution that makes everyone happy. All right? So, like, I'm not getting a negative thing off of it, but I think it's a real honest look in the mirror where you really see everything, if that makes sense. Like, it's not just seeing the good and the bad or just seeing what you want to see. Like, you see everything, no filters, no biases, just real honest look at how you feel about situations and how maybe even how your feelings have affected what you saw or what you looked at. Both ways. The things you liked, you probably looked in more favorably. The things that frustrated you, you looked at even harsher. All those filters get taken away and you just kind of get to see things just as they are, what's going on, what can be done. Oh, this feels like a real heavy moment for you guys. I talked about it for way too long. But yeah, that feels like it's going to be something for you. All right? Ooh. My heart. Ooh, okay. All right, Spirit. Main message for Sag for the month of March. All right. Yeah. All right. So, King of Swords, strategizing, planning. This is the analyst. He's looking at the facts, making the plan. This is the guy who sits in the war room with the council and devises the whole strategy. So definitely in a strategizing situation, you are trying to map out everything again. You're trying to organize everything, trying to get the route laid out, plan the destination. So heavy plan. Oh, good Lord. All right. Right after that, you have another king, King of Wands. So showing up very, very assertive this month, Sag. You want to get some shit done. You are trying to action some things. Both of these kings are very action-oriented. They want to go out and do, and they're not sitting back. They want to action these things. This guy wants to enact the plan. This guy is driven and motivated. Sometimes impulsive. That's definitely a thing to keep in check. King of Wands can be a little impulsive. He's driven by desires. He's driven by his passions. So if he doesn't keep them in check, those can overwhelm him and he can be a little bit reckless. Not common, but it is a possibility. So remember to keep all of that in check. But lots of fire and air, and this air is just feeding this fire, making it bigger and bigger and bigger. So there is a huge need for you to move, to do, to change, to affect, to affect. I'm going to say affect is the key word there. Look at that. Then you have the Lover's card. Especially after these two cards, I'm not getting this as a romantic situation. Not saying you have no romance. Express your love was already there. You know, for this particular reading, I see this could be a Gemini, could be working with a Gemini, could just have a Gemini in your life, could be a friend, coworker, whoever, partner. But I think this person, if it is a Gemini, or this energy is really coming forward as a reunion, as a, you know, bringing the two situations or two people or two opportunities together. It's these like two vibrational matches coming together, whether this is, you know, you and a partner, you and a job, you know, a platonic partner, maybe a business relationship. This is about reuniting. You know, what we're talking about with the messenger of water, this could even be a reunion of self. You know, your masculine energies joining your feminine energies. You know, this could be that talk you have. So maybe it comes in the middle of the month. You have this epiphany, you know, in like a week and a half to 2 weeks from now, where you kind of have this moment where you kind of just like fuse it all together and you just kind of pull it all into one great big situation. So my Sag friend, I'm looking at these bees and I have never realized this, but the female in this card is like made out of honey. Like you can see kind of the honeycomb pattern, like in her thigh and her torso. Like there's a little honey theme going on, and I know you love you some honey. That's just some fun factoid. Everyone else watching that video is like, could we get back to the reading, please? Thank you. But yeah, no, just throwing it in there. And look at this, 4 of Swords. So this talk, again, I told you, like it wasn't good or bad, but it felt significant. I think this is going to be a big moment for you. And here you have the 4 of Swords coming after the need for rest, recovery. This may be a moment where you have this epiphany and realize what's going on, and you need to like disconnect. You need to cut out the externals and have, you know, maybe you got to take a day or two to be by yourself and process and you know, I almost feel like this talk is kind of going to rip you wide open, and then this is you like putting everything back together. But there may be some need around this you know, epiphany moment that you just need to, I need to be by myself, maybe with your best Judies. Like you just, honestly, I think it's going to be more of a solo thing. And then maybe you warm up into your best Judies before you like rejoin the world. But I think this is really about you just having a moment to recollect all the thoughts and quiet everything else down. And get rid of the distractions and the expectations that surround you, and just kind of be for a minute. All right. Oh yes. Be by yourself. So right after that, 5 of Swords. So you're walking back into conflict. So this is probably some things that were going on before that maybe were a little minor, because again, you're already the king. So this little minery, you know, 5 of Swords to 2 kings, not a thing. Not an issue. So I will say, you're going to have this moment, you're going to step out of it, you know, reassess everything. It's not going to go away. It'll still be there when you come back. That's all that is. Yep. And here we go. Princess of Cups. So slightly different energy from the Messenger. The Princess of Cups, this is a very psychic card. If I'm real honest, I always see that as a really kind of psychically, intuitively driven energy. So this may just be, you know, you finding a new center and then operating instinctively from that center versus relying solely on this plan you have. You know what I mean? And we talked about this conversation being it's really the heart meeting the mind, you know, and becoming equals. One's not trying to overpower the other. They're trying to speak to each other. So this may be you channeling some of that and operating, you know, a little more from the feels than from, you know, the logical, practical, justice-oriented thought patterns. I feel like this is also a moment of manifestation. I think this is kind of like bringing something back into your life that maybe was started previously. Like I do feel this is kind of significant as the beginning of something, or the revival of something. Or at least something coming back into your life that maybe you got rid of or thought was gone, thought wasn't going to happen, and it's coming back. I do feel that, but there's definitely a lot of wisdom to me in this card. Knowing that it's a very psychic and intuitively driven card, I'm looking at, I know it's not, but I keep looking at this little, like, I don't know if that's a ball or a vegetable or something by her feet, but it's giving me strong pomegranate vibes. And again, I know it's not, but that's what it's making me think of. And pomegranate was the fruit of wisdom. So I think there's a new sense of wisdom that you kind of resolve this conflict with. And again, this could be anywhere. I'm not necessarily getting that it has to be work or family or lover. Like, I don't know where this is. Wherever this conflict lies, though, you kind of come out of this with this sense of wisdom and understanding on, why it's happening, what can be done about it, how we can change it. You see things a lot differently now, walking back into it. Here you were trying to build this strategy to overcome it and defeat the warriors. Now you're coming in as this like priestess who's like, just calming the storm, like just, we will not fight anymore. Like, that's kind of what's going on. So very interesting energy for you. But this like, I'm really into this like wise, priestess energy I'm getting off of this Princess of Cups for you. Big, it's a big shift for you. It really is. But I'm kind of excited for you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys and seeing what happened this month. But with that said, I'm going to wrap it up here. Awesome reading. I think you guys are in store for a lot of healing, both personally and with your family. It's going to be an exciting month. I'm kind of looking forward to it for you guys. With that said, I'm going to send you guys out. If you're not already, please subscribe to my channel and join our little family. If you are already and like the video, give it a thumbs up. Just helps the channel to grow. And as always, loved hearing from you guys. Love connecting with you. You can drop anything you want, comment, something you want to share, question in the comment section down below. You can also DM me on Instagram at The Guiding Chariot. And if you want to book a private session with me, all that info will be in the description box down below. Sending you guys lots of love. Have an amazing March. Good luck with retrograde, and I will see you next month. Bye.